Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's webcast, Opportunities for Fitness and Nutrition Professionals in the Corporate Space. I'm Sarah Hunt, Education and Engagement Leader for the Corporate Health and Wellness Association. We have an exciting webcast for you guys today, and our goal is for you guys to walk away from this webcast inspired, energized, and motivated to really take your career into your hands and launch it into the corporate space. Today's webcast will be recorded, so we will be providing you the replay within 72 hours. So feel free to go back and review it, pass it along to any of your friends or colleagues. In addition, throughout today's webcast, you can go ahead and start entering in any questions you might have in the Q&A field at the bottom. We will have a designated time at the end of the webcast for addressing those questions. We're excited. The CHWA has brought together two very charismatic, passionate leaders in the fitness and nutrition space. They'll share their perspectives and insight into this growing trend of employers really bringing on experienced fitness and nutrition professionals and seeking each of you out and how you can really take hold of it and get in while the industry's hot. So I'll start by welcoming each of our presenters. We have Amy Hawk. She's the corporate fitness consultant and is at Fit at Work Solutions. Amy is a New York City-based fitness professional and works as a fitness consultant, media contributor, public speaker, and personal trainer. Amy is frequently called on to provide health and fitness tips on TV, radio, and in the local, national, and global press. Her guest appearances include spots on the Today Show, Good Morning America, Dr. Oz, and other national and local media outlets, as well as major health magazines, print, and online. Amy was also a finalist to replace Jillian Michaels on NBC's The Biggest Loser. She is a certified corporate wellness consultant where she works with companies on all levels, providing health and fitness services to support their internal wellness efforts. An avid outdoor enthusiast, she has competed in 100-mile cycle rides, triathlons, and biathlons, and most often participating in events to raise awareness and funds for charitable organizations. Next, I'd like to introduce and welcome Joseph Thurman. Joseph is a health and fitness and nutrition expert and the creator of The Lifestyle Renovation, a website dedicated to helping people achieve their health and fitness goals. Joey was named the best trainer in Chicago by the Chicago Sun-Times in 2015. He has appeared on CBS, WGN, Fox, ABC, and WCIU, sharing his insights as a celebrity fitness trainer, publisher, author, and nutrition expert. His work has been featured in publications such as U.S. News, World Report, People Magazine, Bodybuilding.com, and Inspired, just to name a few. Joey has also appeared on the covers of Healthy for Men and Time Out Chicago. He is a certified personal trainer, a fitness nutrition specialist, a certified corporate nutrition professional, and a fit chef. So before we get into today's webcast, I just want to give a little bit of background on who we are as the CHWA. The Corporate Health and Wellness Association, we're the first nonprofit trade association. We're made up of employers for employers. Our whole goal is around sharing best practices, the trends, innovations within corporate wellness. We do this by way of sharing successful employer case studies. We have over 100 large employer members representing millions of lives. And again, our mission is really on sharing those best practices on creating corporate culture of health. Here's just a glimpse of some of the employers that we've worked with by way of webcasts, such as today, our various certifications, our conference, and we have the biggest reach within the industry. We have 1.5 million through our various distribution channels. To HR, insurance executives, healthcare professionals. We have over 600,000 just in social media alone through our various LinkedIn groups. We have over 30 LinkedIn groups, one of which is the Corporate Health and Wellness Association's LinkedIn group. We are the largest educator and on LinkedIn. We have over close now to 38,000 subscribers. So if you haven't joined our group yet, please tune in. Why was the CCNP and the CCSP created? The Certified Corporate Nutrition Professional and the Certified Fitness Professional. This all goes back to what we've seen as trends in the industry, with employers really focusing on the two elements of fitness and nutrition. In the past, we've seen, only the top Fortune 100, 500 companies being able to afford these very extravagant, comprehensive programs. And now we're seeing more and more employers focusing on the two key elements of fitness and nutrition. And I love this quote: if we could give every individual the right amount of nourishment and exercise, not too little and not too much, we have found the safest way to health. So what we're seeing is more employers bringing in those dietitians, nutritionists, the personal trainers, and fitness professionals to really help in implementing those aspects of their program. So this is why we kind of created the designation, and it's really to help each of you in climbing the corporate ladder and sharing your expertise with employers. And that's what the basis of today's webcast is kind of sharing those trends in the space. Just a couple of testimonials about our certification. Don't take our word for it. We've got thousands going through our Certified Corporate Wellness Specialist program, and hundreds more now going through this program. So I'd now like to pass the ball over to Joey, who will go into where the corporate wellness space is now in the market.
Hello, everybody. Now, we all know that fitness for a long time was all about just asking your neighbor, seeing someone in the gym, and asking them for advice. We really didn't have any proper place to get correct education. We were just kind of searching, for education and sort of trying things out. Nowadays, we have an app for everything. We have all sorts of webinars like today. And if nothing changes, according to the CDC, by 2030, 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese. By 2030, 86% of Americans. So what can we do to help them out? Now, that's a great thing why we have the CCSP and the CCNP, is we can actually learn how to help companies out and how to take things like today and webinars and further educate ourselves so we can help those numbers drop down as a nation. Where it's going, corporate wellness is a $40 billion industry, $40 billion. So there's a place for everybody on this webinar to make a little bit of money. And let's face it, we all want to make a little bit of money here. So employers want to prevent illness. They want to prevent sick leave and loss of revenue before, essentially everybody gets sick. So they want to take the proper steps, and we are here to help them take the proper steps so their employees don't get sick, so they don't come to work sick, get everybody else sick. They can eat right, they can exercise right, they can sleep right. It's an all-encompassing factor that we as fitness professionals can take the responsibility and actually help the corporate health and wellness market go much further. 100% of employers want their employees to eat healthier. So there definitely is a market for you, for me, for everyone out there, and we definitely can share in the wealth. Now, why is fitness and nutrition professionals important? Beyond just the basic offerings and the limited skill sets of the HR team, we need to talk to the wellness directors. They can use expert fitness professionals such as ourselves to help further them. The HR employees are just there to help facilitate the process. They're the ones that hire the smarter people, the nutritionists, the exercise physiologists, and the trainers to help them and to help their employees further along their knowledge so they can take those tools and use them as they're going out besides just in the workplace and when they're on the weekend, help their family, help their friends, and help their kids. Everybody needs to get healthier. It's not just the current employees of that company that you'll hopefully eventually be working for. Now, what's the difference between a personal trainer in a gym and a personal trainer, a nutritionist in the corporate setting? Obviously, personal trainers, we're working strictly for ourselves, and nutritionists are working strictly for ourselves. So we have a limited barrier to entry. We try to find one client. We just keep searching for that one continuous client, and we can't serve thousands and hundreds of people like a corporate fitness and nutrition specialist can. So that's a huge advantage to all of us that are on this webinar today. We can actually take our skills and affect hundreds and hundreds of people, and Amy works with companies with thousands and thousands of people. So she is helping lots and lots of people, a snowball effect, get much healthier. Also, another advantage is you're working for somebody else, and you're going to be a little bit more, have more time management. So as opposed to just being in a gym, you can go to an office, you can help those people out. You can talk to the employees, you can talk to the C-suite levels, you can talk to the, the executives and help them further their employees and see how you can make them much healthier. You're going to be involved with the HR, the whole team as far as the corporate facility is concerned, as opposed to just working inside of a gym, which to me got kind of boring. So that's why I started furthering myself and furthering my knowledge and got the CCFP certified, so I can take that when I do my seminars and I go out and I talk to employees and I talk with the employers, that I actually have this accreditation that I can go over with and use that to validate myself.
Hey, Joey.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I was just going to jump in with a couple of things if I could.
Sure.
Can you, I'm trying to switch over to my video. I'm not sure if that works or not. Let's see. Hi, guys. I just wanted to step in and mention a couple of things that Joey alluded to earlier a couple of slides ago, and that is where you guys can come in as fitness and nutrition professionals. And I just wanted to have everybody understand sort of like where HR falls into this. So a couple of years ago, and I'm glad that Joey mentioned about us making money, because that's really why I changed direction as far as not just personal training, but also getting involved in some of the corporate space. But I had no idea how to do that. And so I went to a corporate wellness conference that EHBC put on a couple of years ago in Las Vegas. And I walked away from that conference really understanding where the need is and what these companies are doing for corporate wellness, because what's happened is they've sort of fallen onto the HR shoulders, and then beyond the basic skill set, if you will, what HR has, they need us to kind of help them now come in and build it up. So they start out with very basic wellness programs of biometric screenings where they test cholesterol and blood pressure and heart disease and all those kinds of things, which they also have to bring in a third party to do that usually because there's lab tests involved. And then they can do basic walking programs and maybe a Biggest Loser challenge. But it's after that, they have no idea what to do. And that's where we can come in and sort of guide them and consult with them on taking their programs to the next level. So just wanted to add that in.
Very good. That's a very good point. All right. Okay. All right. So why do we need another certification? As we touched on before, it's just the same thing as you need a certified personal trainer certification. People want someone to be corporate certified. And if you can go in and talk to the company and you've got basically the same credentials, but somebody is corporate nutrition certified and corporate fitness certified, you are much more likely to be able to get your foot in the door because you are learning the things, from the CCFP and the CCNP that somebody else won't necessarily know. So you've got that insight that definitely is going to give you that leg up in the competition. So you can go from this, where you're working inside of a corporate gym or a nutritionist facility, to where you're working with big groups and you're doing webinars and you're standing up in front of people and you're making a lot more money, for your time.
Yeah, this is sort of where, how does one make that transition from going sort of from the weight room to the boardroom, if you will. And that's sort of where the hardest part of this was. Can you guys see me? Joey, can you see me?
You just disappeared. You were there and you disappeared.
Okay, how about now? Okay,
nope.
I'm just going to keep talking because hopefully you can hear me. So, making this transition can be really scary. And how, again, do you go from the weight room to the boardroom, where you're sitting on the floor one-on-one with a client and, then where you're in the boardroom with the HR team kind of consulting and brainstorming and coming up with ideas. And it's sort of like the other speakers at this certification, when you guys hear, we all had to figure this out ourselves. So we're actually figuring everything out and now sharing it with you. And that's the beauty of this, because we kind of all had to do it ourselves to figure out how to make that transition. And it's one thing that I learned from the conference was I had all of these ideas and I had no idea how to make it all happen. So I started to think about what was the best way for me to use my talents and to share it with everybody out there. So I kind of came up with a ton of ideas of how could I use my skill set to make more money and to get out there into the corporate world. And so I came up with tons of ideas of how to do this. And, not just the ideas, but ways to help these companies implement them. Because, we always implement programs one-on-one with clients, so why couldn't we do that on a bigger scale? So I started to then figure out, all right, how then do I get in touch with these people? How do I even find them? So we're going to share with you that too. We're going to share with you how do you find the right people to contact, and then how do you approach them? So once you have your idea, you have the companies that you're interested in, and of course you do all the research for those companies. How I kind of did it is I did it backwards, whereas I found the companies and I did a ton of research on them to find out what their programs were existed of, and maybe where I could come in and lend some help. And then what I did is I drew up a proposal and basically, pitched it to them. And, drawing up a proposal, I had no clue how to do that. So I had to learn all on my own, again, how to figure that out. And these are the tools that we're going to teach you. How to come up with proposals. How do you scale yourself as far as pay? Do you charge hourly? Do you charge daily? Do you charge project-based? So all of these things that we're going to kind of teach you how to implement. And then, of course, scalability, too, is another big thing, because I started thinking really small, looking at really the small companies, because I thought that's where I would have to start. But then I realized, once I figured out how to scale some of these programs, which we're going to, again, teach you how to do that, that's when you can really start making an impact and start kind of building up your confidence to go after some of the bigger companies. Joey, back to you. I think yeah.
So what's covered and learned? Actually, I have recent experience with this because I just recently went through the CCFB as I started working with the Corporate Health and Wellness Association. So there were a lot of things, even though I was working with companies beforehand, I was going in and I was doing seminars with all sorts of different IT companies and meat companies and companies around Chicago. I was getting up and I was speaking to, but I had those contacts to get in with that company due to clients. I had no idea who I was going to talk to or who I was supposed to talk to when I would originally come up with a proposal. I was dealing with my clients that happened to own the company, which was fortunate for me. So that's a great tool, obviously, for you guys to use. But if you don't know anybody in that company, who are you going to talk to? So a lot of that is covered in the CCFP and the CCNP certification. You're also going to learn preventative strategies, how you're going to help employees optimize their health and well-being, while the company can save money along the way. And that's the main thing. If you can get a company to save money, they will spend money on you. Okay? The bottom line is if their employees are healthier, fitter, and happier at work, they're going to make more money. And spending the nominal fee on you is going to be much more worth their time if they can actually see that validity, actually see that their employees are getting much healthier and much happier. You're also going to learn how to navigate into the corporate space. What's the difference between a fitness coordinator, a fitness center manager, a personal trainer, a wellness coach, and a consultant? You're going to learn the differences between all these things because every different company has different people that are in charge of the health and wellness. So who do you need to talk to get your foot in the door? One great thing, Amy's great with this, is program design and development. How can you scale a company with 10 employees to a company with thousands of employees? How are you going to be able to handle that? There's also the high-tech versus the high-touch portal, which Amy has FitKit, which is great. You'll learn about that, and social media engagement, and how to target the employees through social media, creating the Facebook groups and things like that, and how to get them engaged in their health and fitness. Also, you need to justify your wellness program to show positive change in productivity and company cash flows. So the CCFP and the CCNP will help you justify these things, and you can go in, you can pitch the companies, and you can pitch the people that are going to get you paid so you can continue to keep getting your foot in the door and work with that company and another company. So your umbrella is much bigger, and you're able to capture many more companies. And in turn, you don't have that feeling like you do when you have a personal trainer going into a gym. You only have so many hours in the day. You can only make so much more money. So you either work more hours or you charge more money to your clients. This way, you can learn what to do to go in and talk to the companies and make much more money, which in all reality is what we're here to do. All right, Sarah.
I think we have a couple more slides.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, can you go down number 23?
23.
Yeah, there we go. So this is basically just to share with you some things about, again, the CCFP and CCNP. One of the things that I've learned from this more than anything is by coming to the conference, I was able to make such incredible contacts. You're really rubbing elbows with all of the HR and corporate wellness people who are out there who are going to hire you. So if you not only come just for the certification, which is great, but you're going to be exposed to that whole world of corporate wellness. And to me, that was invaluable. I mean, I learned more from that and really got some great ideas. Plus, you're going to understand and learn what other companies are doing, and you can learn from that to take on to other companies. And a point that Joey made earlier, too, is that, you know, when you start working with these companies, a lot of it is word of mouth. One job kind of goes to the next. But from a lot of these speakers that you see right now on the screen, you know, these are some of the heavy hitters, the top people. And it was really exciting to really kind of get in and learn from them the down and dirty about really what's happening in the corporate market. And then also just to really reinstate the fact that this is really a money-growing business. This is a booming business. There are more and more wellness dollars being spent on these programs, and therefore that's going to go into your pocket. So if you are really looking to grow your industry as far as taking it out of that one-on-one setting and really growing into a different market and lend your skill set and your expertise and your knowledge, you know, this is really something for you guys to consider. I'm having a blast doing it, and we're just hitting the cusp of it. I think there's so much more out there for all of us to really get involved in. So I highly encourage you. Both Joey and I are going to be available for questions if you guys have any now, and we also, I think, are going to have our information up at the end that you are more than welcome to email us and ask us any questions. But I guarantee you that all of the stuff that we discussed, plus more, is going to be covered in the certification. And
yep,
with that, Sarah?
Yep. So thank you, everyone. We're going to take a couple of minutes. I do want to let you guys know to please stay on for the end of the webcast. We have a special promotional discount for you guys where you can get a free certification. We've got a couple of good questions already. So I'll address these to both Joey and Amy. Cecilia asked, she says, I already know what company I'd like to work with, but I am not clear how to approach the company I'd like to work with and how to even position myself since I'm going to be new in nutrition consulting. Do either of you have, recommendations? I know this is in fact something that, we cover in the program itself.
Yeah, this is really interesting because one of the topics that we have, one of the curriculum topics is how do you approach companies? And, again, we're all available one-on-one, but basically you need to find who the right person is, and you can easily do that by going on to LinkedIn and looking through the company directory. Most people will have it under HR or Corporate Wellness Director. You find that person's name and connect with them either on LinkedIn, or you can find out what their email is, a number of different ways. We share a ton of different ways of how to find that person's email. And even to call, that's a possibility. But I would start first with an email, an intro email, and make sure that you have a proposal attached, at least something that's going to show what you're offering. Because if you're just saying, hey, I want to talk to you about getting into the corporate wellness space as a nutritionist, that's a little too vague. They're not going to take that time and energy to spend on that. But if you say to them specifically some of your action items that you have that you could bring to the table, that might be a little bit easier of a foot in the door. But definitely get the person's email and draw up some sort of a little proposal.
Yeah, one thing to add on that was great, is when you do that proposal, just make it short, sweet, and to the point. A lot of these people are really busy. They don't want to sit there and read pages and pages of a proposal. So get down to the nitty-gritty, what you want to talk about, what you're here for, what you can do for them, and they will contact you if that's intriguing enough for them.
Great. Thanks, guys. So we have a great question from Kyle. She asks, would you suggest the Certified Corporate Fitness Professional Certification or Certified Corporate Wellness Specialist if I am already a personal trainer with a degree in dietetics? I am looking to start my own wellness company or work for an already existing corporation. I'm just going to address this real briefly, and then I'll let you guys, Joey and Amy. For those of you that may not be aware, the Corporate Health and Wellness Association, we do have a certification focused specifically on corporate wellness, including, has a lot of employer case studies and such. The one thing that really differentiates the CCSP from that is you're getting those kind of core modules on how to get into the corporate space, going from sweatpants to a suit, and it gives you kind of a basis of, how our employee benefits, programs structured, how you create a fitness program within the workplace. For those, personal trainers and nutritionists, we recommend the CCFP is kind of your starting designation to get into the corporate space, and then the CCWS to really get an overall picture. The Certified Corporate Fitness Professional and Nutrition Professional will give you those real-life case studies as well, specific to fitness and nutrition, where the wellness certification is more all-encompassing and does kind of a deeper dive into it. Amy or Joey, do you have anything to add to that?
I would add to that I think of the wellness certification is a little bit more if you're looking to get into more of the HR role. The fitness and nutrition is a very specific role. If you look at corporate wellness as a whole, it's a giant umbrella, and nutrition and fitness are just little spokes in that of the general wellness. The corporate wellness certification is a great certification to have because, like Sarah said, it gives you a broad spectrum, but if you really want to just get into the nutrition and the fitness, I would start with the CCF and NP first.
Yeah, I agree.
Awesome. So Sandy asks, does the course certification give you handouts and subjects to teach? We do provide all of those that go through any of our certifications, CCNP, FP, CCWS. As part of the designation, you do get access to our members' resources, where we have surveys, we do have questionnaires, we've got hundreds of different resources that you will have access to at your fingertips.
And I will add to that, too, that in the modules that we teach for this specific certification, a lot of the speakers will give you all kinds of handouts and helpful tools and resources as well. Like I know for last year I was giving out some sample proposals, all kinds of different kind of pricing structures to the groups that were there, the attendees for me. So you'll get everything you need. Absolutely.
Perfect. So I think, you know, if you have any questions, I'm going to go through. We do have a contact us slide that I'll share with you guys. In addition, so you can email us specifically if we haven't addressed your questions. We will do so just following today's webcast. Again, we have a special offer for all of you that are joining today. If you sign up for the Corporate Wellness Conference, which is going to be taking place this year, September 27th through the 30th in Orlando, Florida. The cost is $695, but we will give you a complimentary, a free certification, either the CCNP or the CCFP. It's almost, you know, 50% savings off of the combined. So it really is, and our whole goal, again, is to just help in, you know, bringing, making employers healthier and their employees and helping to get you guys into the space. So we're more than happy to provide this to you guys. Some highlights of our conference. We've got over 200 inspirational speakers, again, from the leading, you know, Fortune 100, 500 employer groups. We've got 20-plus sessions focused on corporate wellness, fitness, nutrition, and you can get certified at the event or get your continuing education at the event. Again, we've got a whole track focused on just corporate fitness and corporate nutrition. You saw in a couple slides ago some of the speakers included Chipotle, LinkedIn, Hewlett-Packard. We've got many more for this year. If you are an employer, we do offer continuing education, or if you're an agent or broker, we offer insurance license CEs. Just some of the highlights specific to the corporate fitness and nutrition track. Some of the topics this year, we're really excited. We've got a leading national attorney that's going to be focusing on wearables and data privacy. We've got developing program design for corporate fitness programs. We also have a topic on creating a fitness program when you don't have an on-site gym. You know, one of the challenges that we see a lot of employers with. We have a session on how employers are creating no junk food zones. For all you nutritionists, this is a great, you know, topic for you guys to sit in on and see what employers are doing currently in implementing, you know, more nutritious, healthy eating environments for their employees. Legal traps for the unwary, very timely topic on incentives. You know, whether it's a fitness program, a nutrition program, more employers are using incentives to kind of engage their employees. So what are the legalities surrounding that? We'll show you that. We've got for the second year in a row a great pilot study with LLB on obesity. And fitness and nutrition on a shoestring. We're seeing more and more employers of all different sizes, whether a mom and pop shop or a mid-size to the large employers. You know, how do you create these wellness, fitness, nutrition programs with very limited budget? And it is possible. We've seen hundreds of employers do this. Some of the other highlights are we have very engaging roundtables. We've got a photo here. For those of you who may know Dr. D. Eddington, really the guru in corporate wellness. He'll be at this year's event. We've got a roundtable, our fourth roundtable on healthy foods in the workplace. We have our second roundtable on wearable devices. Last year we had 30 leading employers participate in this. We've got a corporate wellness Shark Tank. So for any of you in the fitness and nutrition that are really kind of have these ideas in regards to a program but don't have the funding, we're taking applications and working with investors. So we welcome that for you as well to participate. Feel free to email us if you have any questions in regards to that. And this year's Healthiest Employers Awards is going to be taking place at our annual Congress. What this means for you guys, you fitness, nutrition professionals, it means that we're going to have up to 400 to 500 employers at the event for you guys to network with. and to learn from. We're going to be highlighting and recognizing the top 100 healthiest companies within the nation. It's a new partnership that we're really, really thrilled about, and this will be taking place on Tuesday, September 29th. So again, for each of you, we will be offering, if you register, $6.95 for the conference. We will give you a free CCNP or CCSP, and you can follow the link below to register. And again, if you have any questions, Amy and Joey have opened themselves up, so feel free to send them over an email. Follow them. We definitely encourage you guys to follow them on Twitter and Instagram. They're really, paving the way for you guys and can provide insight into a lot of the questions that you guys have. So we want to thank you each again. A special thanks to both Joey and Amy for lending your time, your expertise. And then, and a special thanks to each and every one of you. I know we went a little bit over, so appreciate you guys bearing with us. Again, take hold of the resources that are available. Get the education that is really going to put you guys ahead of the curve for, getting into the corporate space, because employers, they really do need you. And more and more, they're hiring personal trainers, dietitians to help run these aspects of their program. So we just want to thank each and every one of you again. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Joey. And everybody have a great afternoon.